Today I'm going to be showcasing the ultimate budget poison necromancer build in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Now you'll probably notice that my character is a vampire, which obviously means I am wearing the full trank set. And when I say this is a budget build, I mean like bargain basement budget. I don't have any skillers, I don't have a torch, I don't have SOJs, I don't have Death's Web, nothing like that. And as you can see, my poison nova damage is pretty decent. It's well over 5,000, and also my res are pretty much capped, and it would be quite easy to cap the res on this character. So before I jump into the gear selection, let's go ahead and show you guys what this character is capable of, and then you'll judge for yourself whether you still think trank set is underpowered. Alright, cow level. We're just gonna bug our merc real quick. So there he is. He's trapped behind that door. In 2 seconds he's gonna appear. There he goes, and we're good. That's just a bug in the game that kind of makes the merc invincible to physical attacks. Obviously this is a very budget build, so we do benefit from our merc not taking physical damage, especially in the cow level. So we hit the packs with lower resist, and you do like a couple novas, and then you switch to amp damage, and you take them all out. Yeah. So lower resist, 2 novas, amp damage, and they all go down. Super easy. Don't worry so much about like stray cows. Just get like all the big packs. Lower res, poison nova a couple times, amp damage, corpse explosion, and they all go down. So it's super easy. We don't need GG gear. Shank and Eldritch. Slaps. Slaps. Travincle. Slaps. Arcane Sanctuary. Slaps. Before I get into my gear and the benefits of the trank set, today's video is sponsored by an investing platform called Collective 2, which I have personally been using for a while. Look, if you're spending a lot of time sitting on your ass playing this video game, which you are, let's be real, you might as well look into some modern and creative ways of investing your money. Collective 2 is replacing the entire hedge fund industry with a user-friendly online platform. At Collective 2, you can choose between hundreds of trading strategies created by talented strategy managers from all around the world. Click on the link in the description below to find out more. So let's go ahead and jump right into the gear, shall we? So as you can clearly see, no skillers whatsoever, just this Geed's Fortune charm, which obviously is nice to have, but you don't really need it. We have some resistance charms that I just found along the way, some mana, 7% MF, nothing special, just a few charms. And then of course we have the full trank set, 3 to Necromancer skill levels, 20 life leech, which is completely useless, a bunch of fire skills which are mostly useless, 100 to mana, 60% mana regen, and 50 to all resistances. But that is not the only thing this set gives. As you can see, this helm provides 25% faster hit recovery, some replenished life, and 150 to mana. So at least 250 to mana from this set, which is a huge help when we're spamming the corpse explosions and we're spamming our poison nova. That goes a long way. And then the armor bonus gives us 25% reduced damage. And that's not just physical damage, that is all damage. And also 50% boost to lightning resistances. The belt gives us our cannot be frozen, so that we can use either a plus skills ring or maybe a all res ring instead of a Raven Frost, and that is huge. And this also gives plus life, plus mana, and then additional cold res. So as you can see, not only do we have that plus 50 to all res from the full set bonus, but we have a ton of additional bonus resistances with the set. Trang Owl's Claws, this is huge. This gives us the 25% to poison skill damage boost, some additional cold res, some faster cast rate. The Trang Shield or the Canter Trophy gives us 2 to poison and bone skills, which is huge. Poison res, fire res, and then a minus 25% enemy poison res. So we get 25% to poison skill damage from the gloves, and then we have minus 25% enemy poison res from this shield bonus, which is absolutely massive. The armor gives us, not only does it give us a little bit of summoning skills, but it gives us poison res and a 40% faster run walk. So, you know, if you have 40% faster run walk, maybe another 30 or 40 faster run walk from the boots, this guy's flying around. I mean, he's not teleporting, but he's going pretty fast. Now, before we take a look at how extremely cheap this Trang set is on one of the most popular marketplaces online, let's just quickly go over some of the options for the other slots that are not filled by a Trang's item. So I just have Spirit. You could also have, where is it, a White Wand, which gives you plus 3 to poison and bone, so you get a little bit more damage with this item, and it has the same faster cast rate, but it does not have the faster hit recovery. It does not have a huge boost to your mana. See, this has plus 90 to mana. It does range a little bit, but this only gives 13 to mana. So there's a few differences, and obviously this is 2 to all skills, not just poison and bone. So the Spirit is going to boost your it's going to boost your summon skills as well, not just the poison and bone. For the amulet, there's pretty much no other option here. This is very cheap. Everything here is cheap. Spirit, cheap. This amulet's cheap. Trang set, we're gonna take a look in a minute how cheap that can be. And so this is, I think I paid like a few perfect gems for this, and most of the items on this build you can get with some perfect gems. For the rings, I mean, this can probably go, I don't know if do I have fire cap? I guess I don't have fire res cap, so I'm wearing this 30 fire res ring. But maybe if I get a couple, you know, small charms for fire res, I can maybe put a skill ring here if I can afford one. I just have like kind of a crappy Nagel ring for some extra MF. For the mercenary, cheapest ethereal insight you can get, I mean, at this point of the ladder, you can, I mean, paying a Lem rune is like overpay for an CV. Most people will take like a Fal or some perfect gems. At the beginning of ladder, it can be a Paul or even more expensive. But this might be like the most expensive part of the build, particularly if you want to buy one with a decent meditation aura roll. And then, since this requires a boatload of strength, I do have Griswold's Heart, which gives strength, and then I have an additional 8 strength from a flawless amethyst in there, as well as I have an Ort rune for the lightning res, and then I have a jewel for fire res to try to cap his res, and his res are basically capped the lightning and fire are capped. A helm, there's pretty much no other option when we're talking about budget. 10% life leech, 15 all res, 60 to life is huge. And I've already talked about how to bug him so that he doesn't get dealt physical melee damage. Regarding the skills and the attributes, just real quick, enough strength to use gear, obviously enough dexterity to use gear, and the rest in vitality, nothing into energy. And then for summoning, there's just 1 point into each of these: clay golem, golem mastery, and summon resist. And that's the only thing I did in the summoning tree, with the plus the skills that I have from Trangs and a couple other items like spirit. You see here, clay golem has 2400, almost 2500 life, which is pretty decent. Slows enemies 46%, also quite decent. And then summon resist gives us gives our golem 54 to all res. Curses, we just have 1 in all the good ones. Basically, we basically need 1 point into all of these just to get the lower resist, which is our most useful skill. With the plus skills, we are getting minus 52% all res, so we're casting that right before we're spamming the poison novas. And then obviously the amplified damage is the other one we use very often right before we use corpse explosion to increase our damage. And then sometimes we use decrepify, maybe on bosses, to slow them down if we're having some trouble. And then the vast majority of the points is going into this skill tree. We have with plus skills, we have 30 in the 3 poison skills that we max. We also max corpse explosion to maximize the radius that it does. And that's it. As you can see, I have 3 skill points remaining. I'm thinking probably just going to dump them into clay golem, not the mastery. But I might put 1 more point into mastery as well. So it's just going to be up to you. I'm only level 83. I've got, I'm gonna have quite a few skill points remaining, and that's really just up to you. Maybe if you want to put some into bone armor. I'm personally not a huge fan of having to always cast that over and over again. The whole build is probably, at this stage of the ladder, it's probably an rune or less. At the beginning of ladder, it can be maybe a lem or a pull for most of the Trang items, and then the belt and the shield are, for one reason or another, these are the most expensive pieces, and they typically go for about a pull or an rune at the beginning of the ladder. If we take a quick peek right now, this is my favorite trade site that I use. As you can see, it has over 39,000 members, and it is like 4 a.m. Eastern time right now, so the fact that there's 536 people online is pretty cool. And this isn't the only trade site. There isn't really a centralized one that Blizzard created for us, at least not yet, but this is one of them. And there's a really convenient way to price check. All you do is click on trade, and then you click on price check, and all you have to do is type in the exact name of the item. Don't hit enter, just type in the name. For example, Trang Owl or Trang Owls. And what it will do is it'll show you actual prices paid in recent trades. It will show you the date. For example, today is October 25th. And just a couple of weeks ago, a lot of these were selling for like a couple of perfect gems, but maybe people are sort of done building out their sorceresses and they're trying other builds. So maybe there's actually an appreciation in price for these items, for these Necromancer items. So what we're seeing right here is similar to like the first week of ladder for prices, with the possible exception of this having sold for a co. We see that we have the armor sold for a co. But this is basically a decent estimate of what you should probably be paying for items, and none of these are particularly expensive. Most of these are selling for pull. I'm sure you can offer less and you'll probably get the trade as well. So there we have it. Super budget poison necromancer. You can build at any point during the ladder, and it's not expensive. It's relatively easy to acquire all the items you need. Of course, it's always more convenient to make a sorceress first for ladder reset, and then maybe you can even find some of these items with your sorceress. But in terms of sort of the bang for your buck, I think this build is extremely competitive and it can do virtually all content in the game. So if you found this helpful, hit that like button. It helps out my channel, and stay tuned for future videos. Peace. Which gives us 3 to Necromancer. Bleh.